Oh, editing must procrastinate. Hello and welcome to my humble studio. Yes, it's taken me a while, but I finally got my next video. I went back to Tea Tree Gully to have a bit more practice at motocross and did a little bit of work on my bike. Hope you enjoy. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see and want some more. Okay, so first thing to sort out with my bike was put in a green Powervalve spring. I had a red one in there and it was way too much for me. The other thing was to replace the lower shock bearing with the Synergy Seals F-bush. It's a bushing instead of bearing. It's supposed to be easier to maintain. I converted all of the fender bolts on my bike to Allen key head type, and so with that one little tool I can take all the panels of my bike. It makes it a lot more simpler. Pretty easy to work on this bike, as you can see. I have it ready to service in a minute or two. Only I could work this fast, eh? PDS suspension on that KTM, why it's got its critics. One thing you can't deny, it's pretty easy to work on, pretty simple. So the other thing I hate about two strokes is the spooge, and especially early KTMs with their ball and socket type exhaust, they just leak. So this is my solution to fix it. Get yourself a spring puller. I just use a bit of lock wire here with some loops in it. You thread it through the spring there, then slot a screwdriver through the loops, and you can use that to pull the spring off. No more grunting and sweating with pliers. So much easier this way. So to seal up these notorious exhausts, I use silicone tape. You can find it in your plumbing section at your hardware store. The only thing it sticks to is itself. Here I just wrap it around loosely, and then I wrap it around a second time nice and tight, making sure to let it overlap like I have there. So you put a piece on the exhaust bolt of the engine as well, and I found this is the best way, at least for me, to reliably seal your exhaust. So next, do the power valve. You lay your bike over so no trans fluid comes out. You undo these two bolts and she just pops out. Then you screw the dolly all the way in. Out come the spring, the big spring. That's not the power valve spring that you change. You pull that little pin out, and the coloured spring is in the other end. So you can see that the green power valve spring is a thicker gauge. Keeps the power valve shut for longer. That's what you want if you want a more placid delivery. So you just put it back together the way it comes. It's really easy. You screw the dolly back in. And slot it back in. You just make sure that that little dent there at the end just lines up with the power valve rod inside. Push it down and tighten it up. Use a bit of Loctite, I think, because the last thing you want is that popping off. And just have a 14 kg surrounder. So once you've got your power valve in, you can also use the dolly adjustments here to tame your power. In is tame, out is wild. 5 turns in is the most tame you can go, so that's what I use. So here, I just started. I've got this beautiful shelter going on. There we go. They're free. start with the tyre. We've got the stupid Trials tyre on there anymore. So immediately I feel like I've got too much rear grip and I can't get the bike to turn. Good for the jumps to get more drive in that. Pretty noticeable. The other thing, ruts. Well, there was a race here last week and they've made big ruts in that. First time I went through them, I had like 3 dudes follow me and I was absolutely spanner through it. A little bit slippery. I had a very, very minor off, but very slippery, and then I slipped down the berm trying to get the bike back up. Jump's pretty good. Still a bit of arm pump, but I'm getting better at remembering to keep it loose. So there we go. So the thing about the GoPro is it just doesn't convey how deep these ruts are, and I was really struggling because I've never ridden with conditions like this before. So this corner I ended up just doing it like this from outside to outside, and I had a much more pleasant time. But that was the overarching theme of today, was dealing with the ruts, and then just for old time's sake, a little bit of whiskey throttle. That's done it for me. Well, that session was sort of coming and going. At one stage I was really on it. Everything was working. And then at one stage it was like I was a complete Gumby. Getting used to grabbing my brake, my rear brake, when I'm in the air. Haven't been able to really think about that. So I think I'll start practicing grabbing it, going over jumps. So that time I do go a little bit to front end high, I can change it, not just panic. A little bit of whiskey throttle. Green Powervalve spring has made a big difference, made it a lot easier to control, and I can rev the bike out a bit more. I don't need to be real wary of what I do with the throttle as much. My bike won't idle. It's really annoying. It means I've got to use the throttle when pressing the clake in. Otherwise it stalled on me once, and the slippery boot and worn out kickstart. I couldn't get it started for a while, but yeah, I'm naked. Lost my concentration a bit here and dropped my rear wheel off the edge of the jump there. The pros just jumped the whole thing. Then I nearly took this guy out next to me. Didn't hear him there. That's the one thing about motocross, there always seems to be more than one line through a corner. It's not as simple placing your bike on the track as it is in road racing. And here's my arch nemesis for the day. I'm going to call him Blackie Redbud. It's always good to find someone that is pretty close to your pace. You learn a lot, you know, you learn to push that little bit harder, find out where they're a bit faster in corners compared to you, and that. That's what I really live for riding bikes, is the dicing between you and an equal partner sort of thing. So Blakey Redbutt takes the inside line on this corner, which I personally hate because of the rut. The outside's not too much better though because it was so slippery. So this buggers me up a bit. This dude's faster than both of us, but when someone jams in between me and my rival, I just find I always lose a bit, you know. And here I'm taking the inside line on this corner as well, which I haven't really done the entire day, so I lose even more. So tired, I sort of give up. I'm like, yeah, I'll just take it easy a bit. And then I decide, nah, I'll get back into it. And then I realise there's Blakey Redbutt. I can catch him, I reckon. Yes. You're mine. Nah. Leaning out. I've run onto reserve. Bugger. That's all good.
Oh. O2 electric. Yeah.
They're a friendly bunch, dirt bike riders, eh?
Lost my indicator. Yeah, that session was good. Getting the hang of it. That first tabletop just seems to throw up really high. I feel like I lose speed at the top and then I just come down and boom, getting the hang of the little whoops just before the tabletops. I can't make the whole lot, but I can kind of reliably jump the first set. It's so small. But getting a feel for matching the bike up to what I want to land on, if that makes sense. A couple of little dices with a couple of other motocrossers out there. I don't got the energy to keep up with any of them. Oh yeah, ran out of petrol, ran out of reserve, right on the worst spot. I couldn't start it. Oh man, I think that's it. It looked like it was going to rain on us, but come good again. You're right.
Hey, so the family finally rocked up. Watch me hurt myself, I guess.
Yeah.
And that also meant the wifey was going to do some filming on my big camera. So if you look here, that person in red is an L-plater. There you go, no excuse for anybody not to go to the track. So here you can see I'm getting more confident. I change gear mid-flight. And this is a habit I'm trying to kick, is hanging my foot so far behind me. Got to get it up there near the front axle. Yeah, so they're nothing impressive, but my jumping technique's getting there. I think what happened here was I hit neutral and just fell over, anticipating power coming on to get me up. So I'm panicking because I'm in the middle of the track here, and then I'm like, oh, that's mine.
Oh. So I've retreated here
under my makeshift shelter. It's a bit rainy. Family out here now, so I crashed. Ripped my pants and took my speedo off with it. I'm not sure if I'm game enough to ride again in this with all the rain that's been coming down.